One of the most overlooked parts of football is legacy and what it means to the team around you. You build your legacy based off of the signature plays that exemplify your talents on the field, as well as the commendable leadership that you show off the field. What most people forget is that legacy not only defines you, but it defines the team around you. Calvin Johnson, Peyton Manning, and Marshawn Lynch have left behind legacies that will be talked about for years to come. But which player's legacy will be missed the most in 2016? The Pylon has that answer for you right now.
Please don't try to play us. 18. Oh,
18. Guys, we've been witnesses to the retirements of 3 football greats over the past few months. Words cannot describe how much Peyton Manning, Marshawn Lynch, and Calvin Johnson have meant not only to their teams, but to the game of football. Everyone is trying to draft that next football brainiac in the form of the Peyton Manning nowadays. An argument can be made that Peyton sort of accelerated the expectation of how soon a rookie quarterback should be thrown into the fire. We expect first rounders to start from day one and have command of the entire offense by the time the season begins. I don't think anyone's approached the game in such a maniacal manner, and now coaches expect that same passion, that same dedication from their quarterbacks as soon as they step foot in the building. And for a while, every team craved that 6'5" receiver capable of jumping out of the solar system to come down with the football while also possessing some wheels that one wouldn't expect from a guy so big. Calvin Johnson paved the way for guys like Kelvin Benjamin, Mike Evans, AJ Green, and Julio Jones to be superstars in the NFL. And then you have guys wanting to run with a combination of authority, violence, speed, and agility all in one to replicate the game of Marshawn Lynch. Teams have steep criteria nowadays for running backs. Either you possess the total package like a Marshawn Lynch, or you're not going in the first round. All 3 guys have cases for the Hall of Fame one day because their impact just goes beyond the stats and the numbers. Which is why I think one stands out by far from the rest. And this is not a slight to the other 2 guys because all 3 are some of my favorite players to ever touch a football field. But what I feel that Marshawn Lynch has done for the Seattle Seahawks is just special. He single-handedly put a city on the map and then ushered them into an era of greatness. I'm not going to drill you to death with numbers like I usually do because right now that doesn't matter. I'm just going to say Marshawn Lynch was the start of the upward trend of the Seattle Seahawks. Going into that fateful day, Seattle was just another mediocre team that somehow squeaked its way into the playoffs. No one expected little Seattle to dispose of the 11-5 New Orleans Saints led by defending Super Bowl champion Drew Brees. Then it happened. The run that will forever be talked about in Seattle folklore. Probably the most important sports moment in Seattle, Washington history. Marshawn Lynch rumbled 67 yards for what we now call Beastquake. Forward 6 years and little Seattle is now considered one of the juggernauts of the NFL, and it all started with Marshawn Lynch. Yeah, some new faces have emerged in Russell Wilson, the Legion of Boom, and Doug Baldwin, but the brand of physicality that the Seahawks are known for is inspired by Marshawn Lynch. He's been that rock of relevance for them for years. Marshawn has been the face of Seattle ever since 2010, and he's taken them to new heights they hadn't previously experienced. I think it's ironic that how when Pete Carroll tried to sort of transition from Marshawn Lynch to Russell Wilson as the face of the franchise, it came back to bite them in the worst possible moment in the Super Bowl. Fate works in mysterious ways, but as I said earlier, legacy not only defines you, but it helps grow the team you have around you. Marshawn Lynch's signature play that puts Seattle on the map, as well as his laid-back personality, has inspired a winning culture in Seattle that is likely to stick for years to come.
Beast mode is a term that kids started using, and when that term is directly associated with a human being, it's for a reason.
His impact on the Seattle Seahawks has been more important and more evident than any other player, I think, in the NFL.